This is the story of one man's dream to change the way people work. A vision so grand, it promised a new world, one where work felt like purpose and offices became communities. It started as a single shared workspace in New York City, and in less than a decade became a 47 billion empire. But behind the glass walls, the kombucha taps, and the talk of changing humanity was a storm of ego, illusion, and chaos. This is the rise and fall of WeWork and the man who built a religion out of real estate. Before WeWork, the idea of a co-working space sounded dull. Offices were sterile, cubicles trapped creativity. The global financial crisis had crushed corporate jobs, leaving millions searching for meaning, freedom, and belonging. Freelancers, startups, and dreamers were everywhere, yet nowhere to go. Coffee shops became offices, apartments turned into boardrooms. There was a generation ready to reinvent work itself. They just needed a place to do it. And then came Adam Neumann. Adam Neumann was not your typical founder. Born in Israel, raised on a kibbutz, he grew up believing in community and shared purpose. At 22, he moved to New York chasing the classic American dream: money, fame, and freedom. But he wasn't a coder, not a finance guy, not an engineer. He was a salesman, magnetic, fearless, endlessly persuasive. He had tried and failed with a few early ventures: baby clothing with knee pads, women's shoes with hidden heels. But when he met architect Miguel McKelvey, something clicked. Two dreamers, one mission: redefine the modern workspace. Together, they imagined offices that didn't feel like prisons, but like playgrounds for creativity. It was 2010, and the timing was perfect. The first WeWork opened on Grand Street in Soho. The concept? Simple. Rent a large office, divide it into smaller ones, add design, community, and energy. But the secret wasn't the furniture, it was the feeling. Adam didn't sell desks, he sold belonging. Every wall had words like "do what you love." Every event felt like a festival. It wasn't an office, it was a movement. And Adam, tall, long-haired, barefoot, became his prophet. "We're not just building spaces," he told investors, "we're building a new way of life." The pitch was irresistible. In a post-recession world craving meaning, Adam's dream sold like fire. The world fell in love with Adam Neumann's confidence. He spoke of creating a physical social network, the future of work, a capitalist kibbutz. Investors were hypnotized. Journalists called him a visionary. He walked into rooms and raised millions, sometimes with no financial model at all. To employees, Adam wasn't just a boss, he was a messiah. WeWork's culture felt more like a movement than a company. Morning chants, party-fueled conferences, free beer on tap. They didn't work for WeWork, they lived in WeWork. The company became a lifestyle brand, a religion of hustle and joy. But every religion needs funding, and that's where SoftBank entered the story. In 2017, Adam met Masayoshi Son, the legendary Japanese billionaire behind SoftBank. Masayoshi's vision fund was on a mission: invest billions into world-changing companies. Within 12 minutes of meeting Adam, he reportedly said, "You're not crazy enough." Then he gave him $4.4 billion. With SoftBank's money, Adam's dream went interstellar. WeWork expanded to 30 countries, dozens of cities, hundreds of buildings. The valuation skyrocketed: 10 billion, 20 billion, 47 billion. And Adam's lifestyle grew with it. Private jets, mansions, a wave pool startup. He said WeWork would elevate the world's consciousness. But in the shadows of that vision, the cracks were already forming. Because while Adam built a global community, he also built a house of cards. And soon, the world would see how fast it could fall. With SoftBank's billions behind him, Adam Neumann believed he was unstoppable. In just 18 months, WeWork went from 30 locations to more than 200 across the world: London, Shanghai, Sao Paulo, Tokyo, Tel Aviv. Each new opening was a festival: music, lights, energy, a movement expanding across continents. Masayoshi Son told Adam to go bigger, faster, crazier. "Think 10x, he said, "take over the world before anyone else does." To investors, This sounded like the next Google of real estate. To Adam, it was the beginning of a utopia. Inside those glass buildings, freelancers, founders, and dreamers worked side by side, believing they were part of something greater than rent and Wi-Fi. It wasn't about desks, it was about destiny. WeWork wasn't a company anymore, it was a lifestyle.
Employees were told they were changing the world. There were all-hands meetings with techno-lights, chants of we. The lines between work and worship blurred. Adam walked barefoot through offices, drank tequila in meetings, and preached purpose over profit. He told his team, "We are not just selling space, we are building the world's first physical social network." Every party felt like history in the making. But beneath the music, the books told a darker tune. Because while revenue doubled every year, losses tripled. WeWork was losing money faster than it could raise it, but no one cared. The story was too good, the dream too big, and the investors too eager to miss out. SoftBank's Vision Fund had over $100 billion to spend, and WeWork was its crown jewel. Each new round of funding made Adam bolder. $1 billion, $2 billion, $4.4 billion. The more money poured in, the more extravagant the dreams became. Adam bought private jets, invested in wave pool startups, and announced WeGrow, a private school run by his wife Rebecca, where children would learn to elevate the world's consciousness. He bought buildings through companies he owned personally, then leased them back to WeWork. To outsiders, the boundaries blurred. Was WeWork a real estate firm, a tech company, or a spiritual movement? Inside, no one dared to ask. The mission was sacred, and sacred things are never questioned. By 2018, WeWork was valued at nearly $47 billion, more than SpaceX, Airbnb, and Ford. Yet, it had never turned a profit. The secret? Valuation was no longer about numbers. It was about storytelling. Adam Neumann had mastered the art. To investors, he sold limitless growth. To the press, he sold charisma. To his employees, he sold purpose. In the age of unicorns, numbers mattered less than narrative. And WeWork's narrative, changing the world through shared space, was intoxicating. The company even rebranded itself to the We Company, expanding into housing, We Live, education, We Grow, and wellness, Rise by We. Adam said they would be in every aspect of human life. WeWork isn't just where you work, he said. It's where you live, learn, and play. But investors started asking, if you're everywhere, where's the money? As fast as WeWork grew, cracks appeared in the foundation. Many buildings sat half empty. Costs were exploding. Former employees whispered about chaos. Managers hired for charisma, not competence. Billion-dollar ideas decided on tequila nights. Rebecca, Adam's wife and chief brand officer, fired staff who she claimed had bad energy. The culture of we was turning into the cult of me. But Adam refused to slow down. When journalists asked about profits, he replied, "We are focused on growth, not profits. Amazon didn't make money for years." The logic worked until investors wanted proof that WeWork was actually a tech company. So Adam prepared the biggest move of his career, the initial public offering, the moment when private dreams meet public reality. In August 2019, WeWork filed its IPO paperwork. For the first time, the public could see inside the company's books, and what they saw was chaos. $1.9 billion in annual losses, confusing structures, loans to Adam, even trademarks owned by him personally. The document read less like a business plan and more like a cult manifesto. The media tore it apart. Analysts called it delusional. Investors ran for cover. Overnight, the $47 billion dream began to collapse. And Adam Neumann, once hailed as the prophet of purpose, became the face of corporate madness. In a few short weeks, the empire that had promised to elevate humanity would implode under its own illusion. The dream was over. The fall was about to begin. The moment WeWork's IPO prospectus hit the public eye, the myth unraveled. For years, Adam Neumann had controlled the narrative, but numbers don't lie. WeWork had lost nearly $2 billion the year before. Adam had sold hundreds of millions of dollars of his own shares, while still preaching that WeWork was not about the money. He owned buildings that WeWork rented. He trademarked the word "we," then charged the company $5.9 million to use it. The image of a visionary began to look like a mirage. Analysts called it the most ridiculous IPO ever filed. Investors pulled out. The IPO was delayed. And suddenly, the empire that was built on confidence began to crumble under doubt. In the weeks that followed, the narrative flipped overnight. Adam Neumann, once Silicon Valley's golden child, became a symbol of startup excess. He'd been compared to Steve Jobs. Now he was compared to Elizabeth Holmes. Behind the scenes, investors panicked. WeWork was running out of cash. The IPO was its only lifeline. Without it, there would be no new funding and no future. But Adam refused to give up control. He held majority voting power, 20 times that of any other shareholder. Even SoftBank, WeWork's biggest investor, couldn't overrule him. The company that was built on community had become a dictatorship of one, and the clock was ticking.
September 2019. Inside WeWork's glass towers, a silent rebellion began. Board members, investors, and advisors met behind closed doors. The question: how do we remove Adam Neumann without destroying the company? Leaked reports painted Adam as erratic. He smoked weed on private jets. He discussed becoming the world's first trillionaire. He told colleagues he wanted to be president of the world. Confidence turned into concern. Masayoshi Son, the man who once called him a genius, now called him out of control. The board reached its conclusion. Adam had to go. On September 24, 2019, Adam Neumann resigned as CEO of WeWork. He walked away from the company he built, but not empty-handed. SoftBank offered a golden parachute worth nearly $1.7 billion to secure his departure. As employees faced layoffs and pay cuts, the man who preached community over cash walked away richer than ever. The media called it the most expensive fall from grace in startup history. Within weeks, WeWork canceled its IPO, laid off thousands, and sold off assets. Once valued at $47 billion, WeWork was now worth less than $8 billion. The dream had crashed. The We revolution was over. But the story wasn't just about money. It was about how belief, unchecked, can become delusion, and how a story, no matter how beautiful, collapses when it loses its truth. In the aftermath, a new CEO stepped in. The mission shifted from elevating consciousness to simply surviving. The company shut down side ventures like WeGrow and WeLive. Thousands lost their jobs, and the startup world began to ask itself hard questions. How did this happen? How did one man convince the smartest investors on earth to buy into a fantasy? The answer wasn't just Adam Neumann. It was all of us. We wanted to believe in something bigger, a company with a soul, a workplace with purpose. But when hype replaces humility, the fall is inevitable. Today, WeWork still exists, smaller, humbler, and no longer pretending to be a revolution. Adam Neumann has moved on to new ventures, still chasing big dreams. And the world continues to search for meaning in business. But the WeWork saga remains a reminder that vision without discipline leads to destruction, that charisma without accountability breeds chaos, and that in the end, it's not the story we sell that matters, it's the reality we build. Because the real we is not a brand, not a valuation, not a logo. It's the people who believed,
who built, and who paid the price when the dream collapsed. When the dust settled, WeWork was no longer a revolution, just another office rental company with a painful past. The IPO that was supposed to crown Adam Neumann's empire became a cautionary tale taught in business schools. In 2021, WeWork finally went public, but through a backdoor SPAC merger valued at just $9 billion. The same company that once dreamed of changing the world had lost almost 80% of its value. Yet, the story didn't end in silence. It became a mirror for an entire generation of founders, investors, and dreamers. Every era has its heroes and its hubris. We celebrate founders who defy logic, who see the world differently. But somewhere along the way, we stopped distinguishing vision from vanity. The startup world became a theater, where confidence was currency and storytelling replaced substance. Investors wanted the next Jobs, not the next accountant. Adam gave them exactly that. He wasn't lying, he was believing, so completely that the line between truth and illusion disappeared. That's the paradox of modern entrepreneurship. You have to dream big enough to inspire the world and stay grounded enough not to destroy it. The WeWork story wasn't just about one company. It was about a system addicted to growth. Growth at all costs. Valuation over value. Narrative over numbers. In the 2010s, that system rewarded boldness, even recklessness. But the crash of WeWork signaled a new era. An era where investors began asking harder questions and founders learned the price of chasing infinity. Because sometimes, the faster you rise, the harder gravity reminds you that it still exists. In 2022, Adam Neumann re-emerged. He announced Flow, a new startup aimed at reinventing residential living. The irony was hard to miss. Another billion-dollar bet on community, connection, and consciousness. And once again, venture capital listened. Andreessen Horowitz invested $350 million, the largest single check in its history. To some, it was redemption. To others, a warning that Silicon Valley forgets faster than it learns. Because while people change, patterns rarely do. The fall of WeWork left scars, but also lessons worth remembering. Lesson 1: vision is power, but unchecked vision is danger. Lesson 2: charisma can build a company or blind it. Lesson 3: a mission without accountability becomes manipulation. Lesson 4: real change doesn't come from hype, it comes from humility. The true entrepreneurs aren't the loudest ones on stage. They're the quiet builders, the ones who keep showing up when no one's watching, the ones who know that success isn't a spectacle, it's a slow, imperfect human process. The WeWork story began with one man who wanted to change how people work. It ended reminding us how fragile dreams can be when they're built on illusion. But maybe that's what makes the story timeless. Because every generation has its WeWork, a dream too beautiful to question until it breaks. And when it does, it leaves behind not failure, but wisdom. The kind that says, build something real, stay grounded, and never mistake hype for history.
Welcome to RiseVault, where every rise has a story worth telling. Subscribe now and be part of the journey behind every great rise.